Hey, all you high vibe humans, and I come to you today in a very somber mood. Dear Trump supporters, congratulations. You've won, and I love you. But it comes from a place of mixed feelings. I'm scared. I'm scared for what it means that your candidate was elected. I don't know if you hold the same values as he does. So I'm scared when I walk down the street. I'm going through the stages of grief because I feel like I lost something. What did I lose? I lost my sense of security. I lost the idea that I'm safe being an African American Irish woman in America. And on top of that, a bisexual woman too, where the possibility of having a same-sex partner in the future could be ripped away from me. I was in denial when I woke up at first. I didn't know what to think. I didn't think that, Donald Trump would win. I thought Hillary Clinton was going to win for sure. Based on all the things that people were telling me, I thought it was a conspiracy. I thought she was just going to win. That's probably why her voters didn't show up. And then you can tell I'm angry. I'm so angry. How did this happen? I feel violated because my sense of trust in the country and the people of America has been dashed upon the rocks of liberty and freedom. And I started bargaining. I started to think to myself, well, maybe if we just get through these 4 years, or maybe someone will take one for the team. And I started to think some really traitorous things about our new president-elect. And I started to become depressed because I didn't know what to do or what to think in this situation. I don't want to make blanket generalizations about you, Trump supporter. I don't want to think that you're like Trump in his values. I don't want to think that you're all little mini Trumps walking around, because I know that's not the case. I don't want to make that kind of generalization. I don't want to hurt you the way that I feel I've been hurt. Because when I walk down the street, people often ask me, I work in the service industry, I worked at a hotel, people often have asked me, where are you from? And I would say, Detroit, Michigan. And they would look kind of confused, and they'd be like, oh no, where are you from? And I would get the sense that, okay, they're asking my ethnicity. They're asking about, what kind of black I am. And I wonder what that means for you, Trump supporter. When I walk down the street, what do you see? Do you see an American, or do you see someone who's possibly an illegal? Do you see me as who I am? I'm very stressed out, so my thoughts aren't very coherent. They're not cohesive. They're extrapolated across my mind because of all the emotions that I'm feeling right now. I have compassion for you. I want to understand you. I want to know what you're thinking, why we have this president, because when you're confronted with a stressful situation, it's fight, flight, or freeze. And I froze up because I don't know how to feel. And then I want to be angry at people. I want to play the blame game and say, people who didn't vote, it's your fault. And then I blame myself because maybe if I hadn't voted for a third party, Hillary would have won. But that's not the case either, because Hillary didn't win in other states. And I can't predict how people are going to vote in other states, and Michigan wasn't that big of a deal until the server crashed in Wayne County, which is the county I'm from. So I was thinking to myself, dang, those solar flares definitely got us. And rightfully so. And then I thought to myself, why don't I just move to Canada? I have friends in Canada. I work with Paradigm Shift Central. I'm wearing a free hug shirt from Paradigm Shift Central. I have friends in Canada. I can go there. I can run away from this. But I don't want to abandon people like me. So I want to protest. I want to stand up and I want to say, this is wrong. I don't feel Trump represents who I am. And then I realized this is probably what you felt like, Trump supporter, when Obama was elected for the last 8 years. You finally have a voice. And that's great. You have a voice. And some people might say that because of this, we're going backwards in time. But in reality, because you were given a voice, this just shows us that the American people weren't on the same page. We hadn't moved forward in our ideologies at all. Yeah, sure, on pieces of paper, we moved forward with our policies because people who cared got out and voted, but you didn't feel you had a voice so why would you even try to vote? And now you have a voice. Now I know how you feel. This is probably what you felt like. So I don't think we're going backwards. I think that this is an opportunity for us to move forward together. As much as I think Donald Trump's statement was rhetorical or just political jargon, but really America does need to come together on this. We do have a responsibility to rise up, educate ourselves about you, Trump supporter. I need to know why you're so upset. I need to know why you voted in someone who's afraid of me. Are you afraid of me? Are you afraid of other people who don't look like you? Why? We need to start asking ourselves these important questions. We need to stop playing the blame game. I know there's a lot of people out there who are going to blame the Democratic National Convention. There's a lot of people who are going to blame, people for not voting. And I will say this. If you didn't vote, please, it's time to act. It's time to do something. Get involved in an organization. Volunteer. Do something because you didn't do this. The important takeaway from this whole video is that it's time for local action. And I'm not saying going out into the streets and rioting. I'm not saying that we should impeach Donald Trump. I'm saying that we need to do our self-work, figure out why we're so triggered by Trump being elected, and figure out why people elected him, and move forward with those answers. We can't stoop to Trump's level. We can't stoop to hurting Trump supporters because we were afraid. People who voted for someone other than Trump was afraid of Trump supporters hurting us. I'm still afraid of Trump supporters hurting me. I walk down the street and I look at people, and mostly I look at white people and think, did you vote for Trump? Because I wonder what you think about me and if I'm safe to walk next to you down the street. These microaggressions are a real thing. They're so real. It's my reality. And I'm sure many other people of color and many other people of marginalized, like to people with disabilities, mobilities, people with autism, like people who are just different are now so polarized because of the way Donald Trump ran his campaign. So Trump supporter, I'm not saying you're like them or you have his same values, but I just need you to know that I'm afraid. And I think it's time to do free hugs. It's time to do compassionate acts. It's time to go out and really embrace humanity. Obviously, this is the shadow aspect of humanity rising up and showing us all the things we don't like about ourselves. And it's time to really embrace that. And as much as I hate it, I'm going to try and love Trump. I'm going to try and move towards understanding, his ideas. I'm going to move towards trying to figure out if he's going to be a good president. And what does that mean? So I want you guys to post your questions in the comments below. Post how you feel in the comments below. It's Truth Day Tuesday, which is a day that you, the viewers, ask me questions and I answer them based on my truth and my experience of the world. So dear Trump supporter, help me understand you. And until then, stay healthy, stay light, and don't give up the fight. Breezy out.